Hello, hello, and welcome back to a very special episode of the Furry President podcast with me, the Furry President of Time and Space, democratically elected, of course, also known as Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin, and with me, as always, is my Vice President of Time and Space.
Hello, I am Link Labrador, yes, the Vice President of Time and Space, and we have a wild ride for you coming up momentarily. Let's dive right into what we just witnessed.
So, what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to introduce the audio that you're about to hear. So, I stumbled upon a wild rabbit hole today. I've seen a lot of wild rabbit holes, but this may be the wildest I've seen ever. And let me explain what just happened. So, I was exploring around on different alt-right groups on Telegram because I find these types of things fascinating. I don't believe in it. I think most of the things that they teach are incorrect, but I find their perspective interesting. And here's the thing. This episode is just a recording of what amounts to a Twitter space that they were doing on Twitter, and I streamed to our platforms on YouTube. So you can listen to the entirety of the audio. This is most of it I was able to get on this device, and I hope that you will listen to it, and I hope that you will give us your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to share with all your friends, share on all of your favorite right-leaning platforms, including Rumble, Telegram, Gab, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Getter, BitChute, Brighteon, Odyssey, Parler, Spreely, Clapper, Facebook, and Frank Speech. I have accounts on most of these places, and you can find that on my personal website, fox2028.com. Thank you so much for joining us, my friends, and here is what we recorded.
Elena wants to kind of run the space with you today. I'm not feeling 100% today, feeling a little under the weather, so I'm going to be kind of laying back a little bit, and there's Elena.
All right. Sorry about that. Mickey just called me. So, I always drop everything I'm doing when Mama Mickey calls. First, I want to tell you she is sending you so much love and hugs, and she just said that she loves you so much and she appreciates you. She's doing good. She was just calling to, she's going to be doing a podcast with CanCon and Alpha Works, and I kind of got the two of them connected, so she doesn't know everybody really well. And, we got to vet everybody, right? Even you just got to do that. And we definitely got to keep Mama Mickey very protected and, make sure that she's doing okay. But she sounded upbeat and she sounded good. A little, stressed out like the rest of us are with the conviction of Richard yesterday and the Oath Keepers, so she said that she was there. She said call into the DC Gulag and talk to her. She always wants to hear from everybody. She's not just there for the guys in the jail. She loves to hear from people. So I told her that I would make an attempt to do that within the next couple of days. But she's doing all right. She's coming back from the Clay Clark Reawakening Tour, and they had a great time this weekend. It's always amazing to be with your Patriot family and friends. So I know how she feels about that. But I was talking to you guys about Marie and coming on today. And when she comes on, I just want to let you guys know I'm not going to be rude. She's going to come up because she doesn't have a lot of time to spend with us. And she wants to talk to us about the book, Letters from the Gulag, and she wants to talk to everybody about Patriot Mail Project. So that's going to be a thing today. And I'm hearing that you're not feeling too good. I didn't hear that part before I hung up, Eric. I'm sorry, hon. Well, Sean and I and Pam can handle this. If you just want to listen in and kind of just relax and regroup, I got you.
I'll put my 2 cents in. You probably didn't hear this part. Got a notification. Got information from Rachel, Ryan Samsel's wife. Notification that Ryan tried to go see and get medical attention at the jail. And Dr. Ettinger from Lewisburg has refused to see Ryan again today.
Oh, that's nice.
And he also asked the nurse. Also asked the nurse to check him out, and she also refused and told him that he is a liar. And Ryan's not. She says that Ryan says he's not feeling very, very good right now with his health. So,
all right,
we're gonna have to do another round of letting them know that we're still, we're gonna be on this and letting them know. Nika is gonna do another little letter, and we'll go another round and send out, do some phone calls and some more emails again.
Is it worth making a trip up to Pennsylvania to visit the marshals in person and go to the jail? I mean, I'll sit there and picket the jail. I'll stand out there. I don't know. I think it's so serious at this point that we get this guy help, and I think that Sean was absolutely right. He's got pertinent information that could really exonerate a lot of people. His story needs to come out. But if they kill him, which is what they're trying to do, I mean, we've got to take this like next level serious, guys. I am very saddened and very heartbroken to hear this information. Actually, I'm pissed.
Yeah, me too.
We're going to have to figure this out. I don't know. I got some friends close to Pennsylvania and not far from Lewisburg. I'm going to have to do some thinking about that one. This is not something that we're even remotely going to let go. I think that we need to involve more people, Congress, his state representatives, the governor. We're going to have to start making some serious noise, guys. I called the marshals this morning again. Of course, I got the same fucking email or voicemail, and I called the jail, and the phone just rang off the hook. So obviously, they know that we're on to them. So it's an even more reason for us not to let up. General, is there any way, now that I'm sitting here thinking about that, you can get a way to... I can't get on Securus app, you guys. I'm banned, okay? I can't talk to anybody. Other than snail mail, that's all I have available to reach out to these guys. I've been banned. It's a long story. It's not even worth the conversation. It is what it is. I came to terms with it a long time ago. I'm
okay, what's
wondering...
you're talking about direct communication with them?
That's right. How can we get somebody to communicate with Ryan who's already communicating with him, to send him some sort of email and give him a specific time to call us, so that we can hear from him?
I could probably sort that out some way.
Do you see where I'm going with this, Sean?
Yeah, you'd like him to call in or figure out some way to do that so he could do it here.
Or call somebody that...
No, and I think that makes sense.
He feels, that can facilitate a conversation and get him on here if we can during the space, or just somebody that, he can confide in and let everybody truly know what is going on that can speak on his behalf. Because this is so serious right now. I would really like to try to figure this out.
Yeah, basically, I could just take a phone call from him and put the phone up to the the phone like I have been with the hearings.
Okay.
That's an option. Yeah, I can do that. Let me see. Really, it's just a matter of getting my phone number to him and having him, at a particular, get a time scheduled up with him.
Right. And Sean, do you think maybe you can facilitate that? Is that what you were saying to me?
I wasn't really listening. I just went and jumped back on my other phone, and I was actually sending a message trying to see what we could do to get, that message to him, and then get him to join a Twitter space or something. So, I'm on it.
Okay. I appreciate you, honey. Okay. Thank you. Thanks. We can...
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, that's where I'm at right now. I'm a little shocked, to be honest with you. I know I shouldn't be shocked, with everything I know that they're doing to all of the guys, but I'm disturbed. I'm very angry. I'm very upset. This is so unjust. And if they hurt this guy any farther and he doesn't get the treatment that he needs and we don't do something about it, I won't be able to live with myself, you guys. I just want you to know that right now. So I won't be one of those people that do nothing. I just won't be. So anyway, I don't know. Where do you guys want to start now? I'm sitting here and I'm shaking my head.
Well, I'll jump.
Go ahead,
I'll jump in. I think the title, I think, for this is very appropriate. I think outside of the Ryan Samsel situation, people do need to be calling their representatives and being very annoying on that level. Because I can't remember the woman who joined us yesterday. She was great. She had a really good attitude, the Italian mother. And she was really saying, you've just got to keep hammering away at these people. So I think that's huge. I was actually having a conversation with Randy Ireland last night, kind of along those same lines, where it's like, I honestly, it's my opinion, and everybody can take it for what it's worth. I love differing opinions. There she is, Pack chick. But, I don't think we're really going to see judiciary solutions to any of this stuff. I think our best hope is to really hammer in on our representatives. And so I think that's really important. But I think it would be great if Pam actually spoke a little bit about what it's like to try to get medical treatment in these prisons when we talk about the situation with Ryan Samsel, for sure. And then in the meantime, I'm trying to, kind of follow what's going on in the Proud Boys trial. I can send a link to everybody. There is a pretty decent reporter, factual reporter. Obviously, leftist calls it an insurrection, but I think there's a lot of good information to be gleaned from her work on Twitter threads, so I'll make sure and post that up. But I think it would be great to hear from Pam on all these issues.
Yeah, just real quick before Pam comes up to speak, is that the chick from Daily Kos who's reporting that you're talking about?
Yeah, Brandy Buckman.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, she does very, very good threads. I mean, she's covering it very well. So, I'll make sure that everybody can follow her. I think she's a good resource.
Well, I want to tell you guys something that happened to me last night, and it just brought sheer joy to me. So my friend Suzanne Monk, who lives in Washington, D.C., and she's been doing Operation Knock Knock, which is, campaigns to go and knock on these congressmen's doors. And, Cannon Hall is now open because they've lifted COVID restrictions in D.C. She sat in the trial yesterday with the Proud Boys because she, too, is, she is the official den mother of the Proud Boys. I might say I might be a little jealous about that. But so she called me. She was in the courtroom yesterday with Enrique's mom and Ethan's mom. And she called me and she goes, "You're never going to believe what happened." And I said, "Well, what?" And she's laughing. I'm like, "Well, stop it. Just freaking tell me, dude." And she goes, "I was sitting in the courtroom yesterday and they started playing a video of when Enrique got arrested coming into Washington, D.C. On January 4th. He was coming into town for the events that weekend. Well, I can't remember if it's a weekend, that weekday, whatever, January 4th. And he was arrested for burning the BLM banner. Of course, we know he didn't actually do it, but he did take responsibility for doing it so that they wouldn't go after any more of the guys in the organization because, it was... it was an unfortunate event where a lot of really bad things happened. Some people got stabbed and there was a big melee. And anyway, so Enrique got arrested coming into town. They, tagged him at the airport, followed him over the 14th Street Bridge and pulled him over while he was in an Uber going to his hotel. And surrounded him with, 12 cop cars and fully armed and pointing guns at his poor Uber driver, who I'm sure shit his pants. But so that evening, the next day, there were lots of events going on in D.C. There was lots of speakers down at Freedom Plaza, and I was supposed to be there. But I chose to go up to the courthouse to try to get Enrique out because him and I are very good friends. And I was very concerned about him. We didn't know. Really, all we got was a report he had been arrested. So we were trying to just figure out. There was a couple of us that were trying to figure out, what happened. So we stayed up there the entire day. And when he got released from jail, the press corps was out there. And there were me and his documentary film crew that had been following him around for about 6 weeks. He was working on a big project. So yesterday they showed that video in the courtroom and I was elated and I was overjoyed because I've been trying to get to DC to go sit in the courtroom with the guys. And so yesterday, apparently I showed up in the courtroom. So Suzanne was thrilled to call me to tell me about that. because I love those guys, and I'm super, super worried about all of them. I'm very good friends with them, and they are one of the reasons that I am in this fight for their freedom, because I saw very early on that they were just being hammered and targeted, and nobody was speaking up for them. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. That happened yesterday. So I was actually in the courtroom via video, but it's kind of cool to have so many friends that are in town right now that are supporting the Proud Boys and their families, and they're there, and people are actually, reporting. Nicole is back to being in the courtroom as well, so we should be getting some updates from her too. So I'm glad that I'm in the know, and I've got friends that reach out to me to let me know what's going on. So I just wanted to share that with you. Go ahead, Pam. Good morning. Oh, I'm sorry. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Pam. Go ahead and speak.
Oh, good morning, everybody. And thanks again, General and Helena and Sean today for doing this for everybody. You guys are truly a blessing to this world. I could speak on the human rights violations where I was. And of course, now I know they're everywhere. And maybe this is a good thing that this is happening in one aspect, because the light on this hasn't really been put on for a long time. And we're supposed to have these organizations out there checking on the human rights. But when I called them, they don't want to touch January the 6th. It's unbelievable. And they're against, aren't we all supposed to be equal rights for everybody, right? Give me a break. But there was some human rights going on, and I've always been a person that will stand up for the underdog. I can't help myself. I got to learn to shut up sometimes. But I read that book that they give you, and the procedure that you have to go through when you're having a violation inside a prison. And I thought, oh my God, if I do this, I'm scared of the retaliations. But anyway, I wrote down a few things that I saw and that was actually happening to me. And I went to a person, I won't say who right now. And oh my God, you're in prison, Miss Hemphill. You're in prison. That was what I was told. Like, it wasn't, well, here's a form, go fill it out. Because I was told you fill out a form, you go to this person, you fill out a form. Well, if you don't, and then one of them was, when you don't feel safe, what do you want us to put you in isolation? So it's a nightmare. You look at your warden. When I got in there, the warden had just been arrested because he was having sex with the inmates. You got one guard, and all the doors are open for 197 women at night. Do you think you're going to say anything? Because those women can leave their room anytime they want and come in your room. You're not safe. There's a game that goes on in there. See, my letter said don't bring anything with you, like your shampoo or toothpaste or anything like that. All that will be provided. They told me that I could bring cash for my commissary, my driver's license, my medication. That was limited. That was about it. I could be missing one other thing, but that was about it. So I brought those things with me. And you get no shampoo. You get no soap. What happens is the girls give you these things. And then later they say, well, you owe me. So when you get commissary, they pick whatever they want. Say they gave you something that was worth $2, but they'll pick something that's worth $20. So it's horrifying what you got to go through. And then they find a way. They took away my commissary. I got it once. So, yeah, it's terrible. These stories are true. However, the lady that runs, that Obama, I can't think of her name right now. He selected her to go over all the prisons in the United States. I'm number 2 prison on the list of the worst prison in the United States, number 2. She doesn't talk to any of us. Everybody was excited, thinking, oh, we could tell what's going on here. We can let her know. They don't want to know. They don't want to hear from you. And that's the truth. And that's the anger. And I wrote a letter to my judge, and I told him everything, what I went through and what I saw in there. I don't know what he did or is going to do or whatever, but it's just important that the consequences, sometimes you have to outweigh it. when to be quiet, when to be not quiet, and make your own decision what you could live with, and tell the truth about what's going on.
I've got an update. Brian's phone privileges have been taken away for 6 months. So there goes that.
That's what I'm talking about. Those are the things that happen when you speak out. It's sad. That's why we got to be their voice for them.
No, I agree. It's a very problematic situation because I was getting the same, General. Who knows if we were texting the same person. But yeah, I mean, it's a weird situation where I don't even know really how we would get. How do I say this? It's very hard to get credible information, period, out of a place like that, especially when they've taken away his phone privileges. And I'm very wary about not getting anything straight from the horse's mouth with him. So I don't know. There may be another way to kind of approach this. I'll put my thinking cap on and at least try to get some direct reports from Ryan somehow.
Yeah, that'd be appreciated, man.
Yeah.
What can I do for you, my dear?
Sometimes we have to do things like this privately so we can figure some stuff out.
So I'm currently listening to what's called a Twitter space, where a bunch of people who were part of the January 6th riot were put in prison. So I need to listen to this. If you are interested in listening to it, you should come in here and hear for yourself.
This is just so sad, and I wish that I could tell you guys that, this was just exclusive to Ryan, but it's happening to so many guys. And it's just the atrocities and the human rights violations that are happening right now. I just don't understand, why there's not more elected officials. I mean, they're just feckless. They have zero backbone. What is happening right now? I ask myself this question every single day. Where the hell is everybody? Why are they doing nothing to help these guys? Because this is everybody's story, really. I mean, Ryan is really getting it really bad, but it's happening to everybody. And it's so disgusting and so despicable what we've sat back and just let happen with nobody really caring enough to get involved. And this has been an ongoing conversation that I've had to try to have with people. And they truly don't understand what is happening. They say they do, but they don't, because they have never talked to family members. They've never talked to any of the guys in the jail. And they're like, oh, well, really? This is happening in America? Oh, that's a shame. Next. I don't want anybody bringing up election integrity today. I swear to God, I'm going to mute your mic. We're only going to talk about what's going on with the January 6th political prisoners, because for me, this is the only thing that matters. That's it. We're going to figure out how we can come up with solutions to try to help, things we can help the kids do, get out information, because we all know the problems in this country. I'm not sure anybody in this chat needs to be made aware of what our country is facing, but they need to know what is happening to our January 6th political prisoners. Oh, God. Misty, you've had your hand up.
Hi, can I give you a hug?
Muslim rape gangs who are an epidemic in every town and city. But the main story is the way the government covered it. Yeah, mate, but that's what our main thing's known for over here is what they call in the UK churning, which is Muslim rape gangs who are an epidemic in every town and city. But the main story is the way the government covered it up, and they all conspired, councils, police, everyone, conspired to hide this fact, and they managed to for 30 years. So, and they've only still, it's the tip of the iceberg, but we can go through all the figures, and it's unbelievable. I'll send you, if that's what you're interested in, I'll send you a couple of films I've made this year, or last year, about these gangs.
Because it should be eating them alive. I don't know how they sleep when they do nothing and they stay silent and they allow this committee to just keep going, and why there hasn't been a stop of it after all this time, and why they aren't released at least to their houses. And it's just wrong what they keep doing, and I just don't understand how that can't happen. And I'm not saying that's the only thing that should happen. I want them released and pardoned, everybody who's involved, and they need to stop this witch hunt. And so, it just truly does make my blood boil. I'm right there with you, Helena. I don't understand the silence. I don't know how they function, and they bring up other things, and it just doesn't make sense. And, why there is no issue about the bond and release that they give everybody else in this country for more severe crimes. And it's just beyond. And so I just would like to say, Heavenly Father, please raise up and hear our cries, see and feel our blood boiling. You must, and we need help and consideration for our J6ers, and they must be released, and they must be pardoned. This is a true travesty, and they are your followers, Lord. Please lift up your disciples and this country. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Misty. I appreciate that. I'm sorry. I am very angry. I am very upset. I feel powerless, and these guys need so much help. And I'm frustrated, and I'm angry, and my blood literally is boiling right now. I'm just so pissed. I am so incredibly angry about what is happening. And I don't know what to do other than these Twitter spaces to try to share information with people, even people on the right. I mean, you've got all of these big MAGA talking heads who don't say or do anything. I got on that Twitter space yesterday, and Carrie Lake literally said, I can't fight but one battle. Are you kidding me, lady? You should be ashamed of yourself that you literally got up and said those words. If we're not willing to fight multiple battles to help these guys, I mean, am I supposed to continue to support her if she's not going to support the people that are being tortured, imprisoned, politically persecuted, held hostage? Their families have been destroyed. They've lost their livelihoods. Their children have to sit there and listen to what things are saying about their fathers and their mothers. No, I'm sorry, guys. Nobody's getting a fucking pass from me. Not one single fucking person. Nobody. Logan, go ahead. I know you had your hand up.
Did they specify, General or Helena, either one, why Ryan got his phone privileges taken away? Do you have any information? Like what?
It's part of the
and to anybody that
it's part of the torture process. It's what they do so that he can't communicate
really don't have anything
with the outside. I mean, Sean can probably explain this better than me, and I'll go ahead and let him speak.
They I'm not going to get into the details because I'm getting kind of some interesting stories that I'd rather not spill out without having any way to verify it. But this is why to me it's so important to try to get, some information straight from him in whatever, manner we can. It's very difficult to do, even if you say, okay, well, did he actually send an email if we're able to communicate that way? Especially considering his situation. I at this point, it's like, Nika, she was going to do another call to action, and I'll kind of let her speak on that if she would. where, I just think we've got to really hammer in and, be calling people, including representatives. It's like, you got to call the jail, got to call representatives, and you got to let them know. And then the other thing, just kind of a standard reminder with these spaces, is everybody please be sharing it out. Retweeting it. One thing that I found that's really effective that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going on other threads of prominent conservatives or other people, liberals. I don't care. I kind of gave it to Biden the other day, and that might have been yesterday. It's all running together. On one of his tweets. Because everybody needs to start hearing these messages, because it's just like when Pam talks about the treatment in prison, that's another thing that I just want to remind, kind of conservative America, I guess law-abiding America, whatever we want to call them. But, the situations in these prisons has always been horrendous. And so this is a great place where we can probably find common ground with people that we otherwise wouldn't. And I think that we need to take those opportunities when we can and really dig into a lot of the problems in prison in general. And this is one of them. We've got Ryan Samsel now in a situation where we don't really know if he's even okay at all. So, again, I think that we've just got to stand up. This is kind of a we the people moment with January 6th. We can't depend on our representatives. We have to hold them accountable, and nobody's going to do that but us. But, Nika, if you would speak on the call to action, and then we can go elsewhere.
Hey, so I actually just typed it up, and I will be dropping it into the nest in just a minute. I updated the email, so everybody that's already sent one, you can just copy and paste this, send it right, copy and paste the judge's email, send it right off. It took me less than a minute. If anybody needs me to email it directly to you, just shoot me a DM. I will email it to you so that you have a copy to copy and paste. Like I said, anybody that already has a Apple phone, just save it as a photo. You can copy it right out of the photo. It allows you to copy text. If anybody needs help figuring out how to do it, to make it simple, just reach out. Landmark, I will shoot you an email in just a minute with the updated copy. I think that's all for now. Give me 1 minute and I will have it in the nest.
Take your time, honey. No worries. I want to bring up Melanie, Andrew Tuckey's mom. I'm making J6ers a priority today, guys. I hope you understand. I'm sure that she has a lot to add to this conversation, since her and her family have been personally affected about what is happening right now to them and so many others. Hi, Melanie. You want to go ahead and speak? She may not be able to hear me. Melanie, can you hear me? I don't know. Probably having glitches. I was on other spaces today, and it was happening to other people. Melanie, you may have to drop out and come back. Go ahead, Landmark. I'll send Melanie a text message and let her know.
No, that's fine. So I was able to email both today, both the judge and the jailhouse today, but I'm having a hard time, and I need somebody to help me with bypass. So I'm trying to reach another representative out in my state in Wisconsin here, but it's like when I go to his format, it won't let me send him because he's not in my boundaries. Is there anyone out there that could help guide me to get Mike Gallagher's email so then I can get an email out to him, and so I can send him the story about Ryan Samsel so he can hear about it, because I really want. Oh, and also we need to find out. I need you, as anybody that has the 20 representatives, and we need to get their emails. All their emails, so we don't have to go through that process where we have to fill out a form on each person's website, because that's what I'm having to do, and that's my blocker. So if anybody can get the representatives that were holding out during the state or the Speaker of the House vote, that would be great.
I'm sorry. I was supposed to do that for you yesterday. Yes, I will get a list together. I ended this Zoom call and I hopped on another one and then had several calls after that. So can you just send me a message and remind me? I would appreciate that.
I got you, Helena.
Okay.
I was sitting with my daughter today and I was like, oh, I can go email because, I was like, I'll just email it right now. So it was easy. Hopefully, and I got a reply back from SP Lewisburg, like one of those like random, like, we got your email type situation. Is that what everybody else gets?
Yes. That's their response to everybody. So yeah, that's their response. Melanie, can you hear me? I just sent you a text message. If you can hear me, you can speak. And if you can't, hopefully, I don't know. I just sent you a text message. Hopefully you see it. Pam, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to share. I was walking to the cafeteria from the unit, and I had my little beanie on because a lot of you know from my cancer, I don't have hair, and it's embarrassing, so I wear this little cap. And I could have gotten, they call it a jab, and if you get it, like, they don't allow you to wear your cap, and you're not thinking to take it off. But this guard came to me and said, if it happens again, Miss Hempel, you'll get a jab. And then what happens, if you break one little tiny ridiculous, some of these are so insane rules, you can lose something. So I don't know about the rules and where he's at, but it's real. If they want to take something from you, they can claim you did one little thing. Like there's a line when you go to pick up your mail and it's a black piece of tape and you can't go over it. But if your foot is just an inch over that little, they could use that. They could do whatever they want when you're in there. You're under there, and it's hard to fight it. It's very difficult. But with a lot of screaming from you guys, it helps if I had people in there. I could not tell anybody because they record everything. I was afraid of the retaliation. They didn't have it set up where you guys could send me money when I was in there. It was very difficult. So I'm really grateful we have all this going. But let's just keep in mind, you're in prison before you go there. These people I have one that's really horrified about going. Then I have one that just came out and he's suffering from his PTSD really bad. I still am. And so let's remember all J6ers are still suffering and still in prison whether we're there or not. God bless you.
Yeah, Pam, it's, we need prison reform across the board. And I can see that clearly now. I mean, I had a family member, too, that had lots of problems when he was locked up for 5 years. So it is truly, they lose privileges for hardly anything. If a guard has it out for you, you can just forget about it. Your life is just going to be completely miserable in there. And we see what is happening to all these Jan 6ers, and it's just so incredibly sad. It's something I guess this will maybe morph into because, the prison system is absolutely a mess. Melanie, can you hear me now?
Yes, honey, I'm here. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just wanted to, you sweetheart, I just wanted to touch on some of the things that you were talking about. When Pam spoke about the situation that the J6ers are in, and I know Andrew was in a total different place, I guess you could say, like not DC and I guess Northern Neck and some of the other ones, or where Pam was in those places. I know they were pretty bad, and I feel like, Andrew was in solitary confinement most of his time, and my heart broke because I was worried about his mental stability. And I mean, he is a go-getter and not used to this. So that really bothered me as a mother. I almost felt like I was in solitary with him the entire time because I put myself there, like my baby feels this way. Oh my goodness, I know he's not like this. All the things that a mother would do and feel. But I will tell you that he had told me one of the last phone calls before he was released, because he is out now, was Mom, they don't care if you live or die in here. And all I could think about was he's got 3 days left. Dear Jesus, please let my baby come home. He has 5 children. He has a wife. And I just didn't know how to even take that. So for the last few days before I did go pick him up, I was worried about that. I thought, what are they going to do to him, you know? And so therefore I am worried about all these other guys because they're in a way worse area than Andrew was. And I will tell y'all that I am in close communications with B. Thomas. This is Matt Gates' godmother. And I am doing everything that I can, y'all. I connect with her every day. She prays with me every day. I do everything I can to connect with her. It is hard. I mean, I know these people are busy. I know the congressmen are busy. But I promise you, I'm trying over here, and I'm getting word out. I'm sending her. I sent Barbara Turpin's messages from Telegram. I personally sent them to her in text message, and Mama B sent them back to me. And she's a doll. So I'm doing the things that I can do. I don't know, other than go down there and pray I wouldn't get arrested and go to D.C. from Florida and say, come on now, y'all. I just don't know either. And I feel like Helena, I want to cuss them all out. I want to scream from the top of my lungs. And it's maddening. This is a sad situation. They're treated unfair. Even though Andrew was only in there 75 days, I'm just as pissed off as anybody. And I don't know what to do either, but what we're doing now. And this space has been amazing. And I love you all for doing this and your hearts. I watch Telegram. I watch every single thing. I listen to y'all day and night. I even go to other spaces and listen just to see what other people will say. And they are talking more now. This is kind of a blessing. I don't know that we can connect this way because not everybody has everybody's phone numbers. But I speak with Pam. I spoke with Pam, I believe it was not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before that. And we had a really good interaction. Like, we talk a lot. She got me through this, and Helena. And there are things, every idea is worthy. Every idea is beautiful. Every idea is a great idea. So whatever's happening right now, something is happening because Matt Gates was on last night and I missed most of it. And I tried to get on there and I listened to it for a bit, but I didn't get to hear all of it. So at least they're getting on. So all we have to do is push. I also will say when Andrew first went in, I contacted Louis Gilmert's office. They did contact me back. He is an advocate too, so maybe call that guy. I mean, I don't know, like all of them. Yes, I call all the time. And that's all you can do. And pray a lot.
Yeah, I joined that Twitter space with Lauren Boebert and Matt Gates last night too. And I missed a very large portion of it, so I don't know what they were talking about prior to, but when I got on there, it was something about Colorado waterways, and then, I don't know, I started seeing some Gen Sixers join the space, and Matt Gates was like, oh, well, I got to go have dinner with my family, and I was like, oh, well, that's nice. I don't know, like 5 people all joined at the same time. I'm not saying that's why he left. I don't want to make any accusations, but I think my point here is that we're going to have to really start holding, making phone calls. I mean, this campaign just has to continue. And, we're going to have to get the information out so people know how to make these phone calls and, be relentless, stay on top of it. I think that FBI guy had it right when he said he sets an alarm and he does it 3 times a week. And he makes all his phone calls at 9 o'clock in the morning when he starts his day. And it usually takes anywhere between 5 and 30 minutes. But he invests that time in the day to, talk about things that he cares about. Obviously, we all have different causes. But I thought that was absolutely a great idea. So it's just my 2 cents worth. Is it Pack Chick? Sorry, you've had your hand up for a really long time. Go ahead.
Yep, it's Fact Check, the Italian mother.
That was kind of funny. I had just joined the space when he mentioned that, so it was kind of funny. I think the spaces are very important. I think it's important that we all speak to each other. Then again, we're not going to get those people out of prison with just this spaces thing, okay? So we have to take action, as you know. I mean, I don't know if you remember yesterday when I was speaking. I've collected from the federal government for probably 40 years now. And this is how they work. You have to stick them. You have to be on them. Call them every half an hour if you have to, until you get a live body on the phone. These people do not care about you. And in order to make them care about you, you have to be an obnoxious Italian mother, pain in the ass. Now, yesterday I published, or I had Helena do it, I guess, a list, 36 pages of all of the phone numbers of all of the state representatives, and it's by state. Do whatever you want, okay? I offered to take the first 2 pages, which I am working on and have been working on all day. Matt Gaetz has 4 phone call messages from me now. Take a couple of pages off of that printout and just call them. And call them every day if you have to. Take an hour of your time and call them every day. You will eventually wear them down. It's just going to take persistence and just being a pain in the ass. That's how you do it. That's the only way you can do it. And that's all I'll say for now.
Yeah, she's absolutely right. You just have to be relentless. I mean, we need to just light up their phone lines every single day. And we have to do it continuously. I mean, I make so many phone calls. I call usually every single day. Sometimes I get an answering machine and I leave a message, and then I'll send an email. It's just something that I've been doing for a really long time. And it's not hard. All you have to do is just kind of have a script as to, what you want to say. I mean, Nika's been so helpful in getting that information together for us for calls to action. It's just really important that, we all just put forth the effort. So,
yeah,
that's.
I don't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good.
Sorry,
You're
I just had another brain thought. They just come to me. All of the phone numbers on this listing are the 202 area code, so that's Washington. These people do not live in Washington, D.C. They do not breathe in Washington, D.C. They might eat dinner or fly on a plane. These offices are set up specifically to screen calls like this, okay? They get the phone message and they go, oh, it's her again. What a bitch. And then they either delete it or they send you some letter in the mail that says, thank you for corresponding with us, blah, blah, blah. It's all bullshit. So when you look up these representatives on these lists, you go to their website and scroll all the way down to the bottom until you get their location of their offices, because that's where they really are. Matt Gaetz is in Florida at his office when he's not in Washington. He has staffers, probably 12-year-olds. They're taking the phone messages, okay? It's like a secretarial service. So calling the 202 numbers is a good thing. You can do that. But right after you call the 202 numbers, you call the office numbers of these people. Even if it takes 4 phone calls, with Matt Gaetz, I think it's 3 phone calls. He has 2 offices in Florida, and he has his office in Washington, D.C. Call every single phone number that is attached to that person's name, and you will get through. And just, be relentless. Just think Italian. Just think Italian mother, okay? If you ask my 2 sons that are now grown men, they will tell you, our mom is insane. And they don't get away with anything. They never got away with anything as a child because I didn't allow them to. And they can't look me in the eye and lie to me either. So you have to be relentless. Just think Italian mother. And I think that will help too, okay? Call every single office, including the one in Washington. You might luck out and get them on the phone. But call every office for every single representative, okay? And there is no email address listing for the representatives. I've already looked that up on the government website. There is no
complete email address for all the state representatives, because otherwise you'd be able to get a hold of them quicker, and they don't want you to get a hold of them, okay? Because they don't care about you. So your job right now is to make them care about you. Just be obnoxious, be a pain in the ass, and you'll get through.
I love it. Did you hear what she said? Be obnoxious, be a pain in the ass. No, she's not wrong, though. She's not wrong. So it looks like Marie has just joined us, and I just sent, there she is. Marie Goodwin from Patriot Mail Project has just joined us, you guys. And she has come on here today to talk about Patriot Mail Project and the American Gulag Chronicles, letters from the Gulag book. And I just want to say thank you, Marie, so much for joining us. I bug you every single day to invite you, but I know that you are so incredibly busy, so I appreciate you setting aside some time for us today. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you very much for having me here. Excuse me for my stupid French accent, but I hope you can understand me. Anyway, so yes, I'm with the Patriot Mail Project, and our goal is to find every 950 J6ers to add them to our list, so nobody is left behind. I know that when people find about us, they're just so grateful. And I also have a special private family chat with the families of J6ers and some J6ers that are allowed to talk to others. And we have about 130 people there. And every time we find somebody, we'll just invite them first to make sure that they have the right to be able to be talking to us. But if they do, then they join. So it's a great family group. The Patriot Mail Project has been really pretty awesome. Paula Calloway created it. Well, she didn't start it. So 3 ladies started it, but a few weeks later, they dropped out, and Paula Calloway started to work on it. So she was the main person during the Bounty Ranch trials and imprisonment as political prisoners. And then the Patriot Mail Project became dormant for a while, and when the J6 situation happened, Pete Santilli asked her, hey, what are you going to do, Paula, about this? And she reopened it. It was July the 4th, 2021. And she only had the people that were imprisoned at the time on the list. And when I started to help her, I said, hey, why don't we add the others too? Because just because you're not in jail doesn't mean that you don't have anxiety, that you're not under stress. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe your wife left you, or maybe your kids hate you now, or your family. So they need support. And she said, yeah, that's a great idea. So we added everyone that we find that is a J6er on the list. So we have 2 lists. One is a spreadsheet, and the other one is a list I created. That is cards, and you have their pictures, and you also have how long they've been incarcerated and some other information. You can filter by jail, by male or female, by state, by birthday, months, and some other stuff. So I think it's helpful for a lot of people. It's hard to maintain because people are moved on a regular basis, but we try our best. We added the Wendy to our team to help, and she's doing a great job. And we may add a couple more people because I'm extremely busy all the time, and sometimes I miss 2 or 3 days, and people start yelling at me because the address is wrong. So anyway, so we really try our best to keep updated on the addresses. The other thing I can talk about is the book. Oh my goodness. We get so many complaints about the book not being received. Well, we are new on this. This is the first time we wrote a book, and this is the first time we published it. The first print we did, we ordered 500 books, and the books were sent to us, and we mailed them ourselves. Actually, David Sormel and his family did most of that, and David is a very, 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 very busy man. So thank you, David, for doing that for us. And we had talked to several publishers. Several rejected us because they don't want to touch J6. But we found one, and it's called Devil Duck Publishing. They're awesome. The person who has this publishing company is a veteran. I think she was a Marine. Christine is her name, and so she has a magazine that has to do with veterans, and she decided she could take care of us. So she has a printer, and this is not like what you're used to. You know, when you order a book at Amazon, they get your order and they print on order. Many companies do that, but we are little, and we are the little guys. So what we do, we wait for a certain number of orders, and then we send it. So we send an order for 2,000 right now books, and it should be ready anytime now, today, tomorrow, I'm not sure. But the printer will ship the books himself, so we don't have to do it. Praise God, we don't have to do it. I'm so glad about that. And then we'll start, ordering as we get orders. So, but like I say, it's not print on demand. It's just we need to get a certain amount of orders before we send the list of orders to the printer. So be patient, people. It's coming. It's coming very soon. Be patient. Those who did an order until now should have received an email with a digital version of it. So you can start reading it if you don't mind being on the computer to do it, or even your phone. But some people are not happy about that. But that's all we can do. We are the little guys, and we are trying our best. So I hope, with all my heart, that you will forgive us for the delay, and that when you receive the book, make sure you have a box of Kleenexes next to you, because you're gonna cry. I guarantee you. Thank you so much.
Well, Marie, I just want to let everybody know how tirelessly you work, and I am absolutely amazed to see how fast you guys are able to keep up with all of these transfers. I mean, literally every day, the prisoners are getting moved around, and you've got such a great team of people behind you and helping you, and it's miraculous to me, and I'm always in awe because I'm in your work groups and I see, what's going on, and I can barely keep up, so I don't even know how you manage to catch a breath with everything that you have going on. And I'm not sure if a lot of people know, but your son Daniel is also a January 6th political prisoner, so he's facing, a lot of things coming up, and I'm not even sure where Daniel is in his case. Can you give everybody an update with that? Would that be okay?
We prefer not to talk about it. We usually don't talk about cases in general. He's doing okay. He's, working hard. He works for David Summerall, so he does a lot of video editing, posting, and all that. So he's doing okay on that side.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Give him a big hug for me. I need to give him one of these days proper, but give him one for me anyways. And people that don't know, again, Patriot Mail Projects, they're the best. Marie's the best. I'll just leave it at that, because that's the best way to say it.
It's
not the best.
It's not me only. I mean, it's not me only. Without Paula and Wendy, that wouldn't be. So anyway, so you need to thank them too, not just me. But I love you guys. I love all J6ers. I do all I can for you, and that's it. But yes, I will give you your greeting to him, Sean. And some J6ers cannot talk to others, so that's difficult for him. He was 13 months on home confinement. All he could do is go to the trash can to put the trash out. Even his PSA told him, don't stay too long when you're at the trash, because we'll send the police to get you. So he was always stressed out about that, and couldn't see anybody, talk to anybody. So that was very hard, Some of you probably know how that works. And it's mentally difficult, even if you're not in a jail. With guards, at least he has me as a guard, and sometimes it's hard too, But at least I cook for him, so and he loves good food. So on that side, he is way better than others. But anyway, I love you all, and
well,
I'll
hang
do
on
my
one
best.
second before you sign off, because there's somebody that has been working on trying to get a campaign going to write Jan 6 kids.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about it, because we know how successful it was for the Christmas fund. And she really, truly is wanting to bring this campaign on. And I just want to let you know, Nika's listening in. And we had a Zoom call last night with Jaleese. And Margie said that she would be helping as well. So maybe I can get you all connected and we can figure out how to start writing these Jan 6 kids, because I think it would be super amazing if we could bring this on board, because these kids have really, I don't want to say we've forgotten about them, but we don't talk about the children very much. And they too have been so affected by what is going on with their parents. And she just had such a great idea. So I'd like to get you guys connected, but Nika, I think, just maybe wants to introduce herself. So if you just have a few more minutes, if that would be okay, Marie.
Sure, that's okay. I just want to say something though. I'm a little concerned about that because of kids' privacy, and I guess maybe we'll have to first start asking the families if they're okay with it. Not everybody will be okay with that. Writing to kids. Of course. If it's kids to kids, but even that, I'm not sure. So this will have to be done in a very, very
delicate, delicate way.
Delicate way, because, like I said, I think probably the best thing would be for me or somebody else to write the families themselves, to ask them if it's okay before you do anything.
Well, of course. That's why I told them that you and Paula definitely need to be involved in these conversations, because it would kind of be maybe a spin-off, and I don't think Nika wants to put anything more on your plate than you already have. So we can definitely, get you guys connected, but I think she just wants to introduce herself to you. So I'll step back and let her speak.
Hi, Marie. I honestly, the kids' safety is absolutely the most important thing, and
by changing our backyard, and I say that a lot, and we can do those things and should do those things to call our federal people, call our legislature, right, that sort of thing, but as we move up, right, so now as and I'm in a position of leadership, and when I say leadership, I will just call myself a trusted servant, and that I didn't even ask to be here. Somebody asked me and I said yes, and then they asked me and I said yes, and then I asked some other people to come help me, and I have some other people that are saying we want to do this, and I'm like, great, how can I help you do that, whether it's First Amendment or Second Amendment or and then J6 is coming, and this organization that we're doing right here in communication, I think we're at the very beginning. I also think that we're at the very beginning of change within our country, and that as we all know, it might get a lot worse than it is now. I mean, it might have to turn into shit, right? And I'll say, like, especially with the vaccine deaths, like the bodies might have to be piled so high they can't be hidden. But for those people who are worshiping the vax, pay attention and go, something's wrong here, You can't slap them in the head, unfortunately. But if their spouse dies 24 hours from the vaccine, as many are doing, or within a week, and we're talking about it, and I always say that the information war within that vaccine narrative, within our J6 narrative, within the election integrity narrative, it's an information war of censorship and truth. And that's why we got to keep speaking up and doing all those action items, which, every action item we do, it is to take action, right? Not just post a meme, but to try and take action and do things, which this is, right? So those are just some of the notes I took as I've been listening to you guys. Keep up the good work. God bless America and God bless the J6ers. I yield.
Well, God bless you, John. And every time I hear stories like yours, it just, reminds me the importance of doing these Twitter spaces and being able to talk about stories like yours. And one thing that always resonates with me when I'm reminded, you talked about how some of these guys have lost their family members and they're not allowed to see their children anymore, and their families have walked away from them. And it is just really hard to even wrap your head around that when they're, sitting in a jail and they have absolutely nobody. And, that Patriot Mail Project, I don't want to say that it remedies anything, but it certainly gives them reassurance that there are people on the outside that are thinking about them, and they do understand some of the things that they're going through. I mean, especially, listen, there's about 500 people that I know of that have been truly invested for as long in trying to fight for the Jan Sixers. And they're so determined to get these letters out and to spread awareness, and that's why these Twitter spaces are so important, so we can continue to bring these guys hope. And it's very sad, because all of the things that John said is true. And getting, in your community and getting involved at the local level, that is so incredibly important. I mean, we saw how badly these elections have consequences, and we're going to have to do bottom up now. It's not that we're not going to have to worry about things nationally, but it really is important to get into your communities, join your local, Republican executive clubs, whatever it's called in your community. That's what we have here in Clearwater. We've got a lot of shit to clean up in this country, and it's up to us. We've got to get America First candidates on school boards. We've got to get them on council seats. We've got to get them elected to state house and up in Congress. It's the only way we're going to fix anything. And if we don't get involved, it's not going to happen. And it's going to take very determined people like John. Everything that he's going through, he still is doing the hard work. And trust me, I know it's hard work. I campaigned for Jeremy Brown. Jeremy knew that he wasn't going to win that election running from that jail cell. He ran really to warn people. But we did a tremendous amount of work in Jeremy's district. Our canvassing efforts, we got 42% of the vote in a deep blue district. So we worked really, really hard. I mean, the campaign wasn't a joke by any means. We were out every single day talking to people in the community, sharing information with them, but that's what it's going to take, people. Boots on the ground, phone calls, emails, conversations, flag waves, events to go to. And listen, it's tiring work. I can't say that I'm not exhausted, but I can tell you that I'm mad, and that's what fuels my fire. It literally lights a fire under my ass, because I'm so upset about what is happening in this country. And that's really why I, got involved in politics to begin with. And I was living in D.C. That's where I grew up. I mean, when people call it the swamp, it's true. It's disgusting what is happening. Anyway, I don't even know whose hand was up. Coy, you just, Eclectic, you've been waiting a really long time. I think you got knocked off. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's really weird. I got knocked off 3 times.
Of course.
Yeah, 3 times. And definitely, since I've been posting a lot of J6 stuff, I've definitely been getting throttled down quite a bit. But I was just going to say, that Bobert, Matt Gaetz call, I was on that at the beginning. And I even sent questions to his chief of staff to get in the list. And the conversation was going really good. Like, and I hope this isn't a black pill moment. Maybe there was just, not really anyone asked questions, but I had some dialogue with the guy back and forth where I thought, I might get to ask a question. And then I said, well, it's going to be a question about basically kind of how they're going to handle the J6 stuff. Didn't get called. Like, he was talking back and forth with me, As soon as I brought up J6, it was like the conversation stopped. And there was no back and forth. So it was just kind of a black pill moment because it's like I thought Gates was on our side, but you know, and I don't know. I don't want to speak ill of the guy, but it was just kind of it was kind of disheartening. But also for my peeps in Texas, I'm talking about with Carolina again about putting out a hard date on doing a protest around like maybe Dan Crenshaw's office. So I don't know if anyone would be interested in attending that, or if we can get, you know, like, I'd like to get some feedback on how many days out we should put it. Should it be 30 days, 60 days, you know, so I'm open to any feedback. General's got his hand up.
The longer you wait, yeah, I'm crawl out from under my under the weather rock here, God, for a second, and I'm gonna go right back in it. Yeah, the more you plan it out, the more successful it is. So you know, in my experience, anything that's planned under a month doesn't really work out that good. A month and a half seems to somewhat work out good, and in 2 months, usually it turns out pretty well. So
yeah, I feel
yeah. I mean,
I feel really stupid now. I should have gone to you first on this. I forgot. You know what? Me and you will talk offline, actually.
Yeah, we can talk about that. Let me say something real quick. I'm pretty excited about this, and I'm proud of the folks that are going to be doing this. We're cutting down to 3 hours today, so we're going to be signing off in about an hour from here. But we have some incredible folks that are going to be picking up an evening space, our kind of part 2 of our evening space, so that folks, you know, getting off work and stuff like that can actually join in too, because we usually get off about 6 o'clock. They're going to be getting on at 5 and going until about 7, 8-ish, right around there, whatever they end up choosing to do. But Nika's going to be doing that, and we got Logan and we got Tank that's going to be getting involved in that too. So we got some good folks that are going to be running that space. I'll be on there today for a little while listening in, and I'll chime in a little bit. But yeah, I'm under the weather, guys. I'm sorry. Kind of AWOL today, but I'm just trying to recover right now. Had a rough night, and so been dealing with that. Back to y'all.
We love you, General. We want you to take care of yourself, and you know that we're all here for you, and we're all praying for you. And I appreciate you so much. Yeah, I think it's a good thing to maybe have an event. Texas is a great place, so is Florida. I'm not sure if John is still here. West Palm is not really that far from me. Maybe we can, you know, do something down there and protest out in front of Trump International. I'd be down for that. But anyway, we can talk about that later. Clay, go ahead.
Hey, Lena, General Sean, it's good to see y'all on here. John, I appreciate your heart and your efforts to speak with your state legislators. I think that's a good idea. But you know, the more I've been thinking about this, and it just seems like the only way out that we're going to have for those that are still facing trial is to change the venue. You know, I mean, we've just been seeing our guys and men and women go through these trials to just be totally assassinated by these DC juries. And you know, there's data out there that's been collected that point to how tainted the DC jury pool is, how biased, you know. I mean, over 90% Biden voters inside the DC area. And I think that we really need to start beating that drum, the change of venue drum. And what I'm going to do out here in Otero County is I'm going to get a letter put together that points to this biasness with the DC jury pool. There's some data that's been collected, as I mentioned, out there that I'll include in the letter. But I'm going to get it moved and passed on through our local county commission board to get that letter sent, not from me, but to get it sent from Otero County. And that might be something that maybe we could begin to work on, as so many people are engaged in J6 from all over the nation. If we could get letters from every county across the United States requesting that the DOJ allow these trials to be moved outside of the D.C. Beltway, then maybe we can have a hope for those that are facing trials, and it may fit into the appeals of those that have already been sentenced by these biased juries in Washington, D.C. So I'm going to get that letter put together, hopefully by the time our commission board meets this next month. And I know that my commissioners here in Otero County will move and pass on it and send it directly to the DOJ from the county, requesting change of venue for all J6 defendants. And again, if we could kind of start a movement possibly, I mean, there's a little over 3,000 counties across the United States, and if we could have over 3,000 letters from Board of County Commissioners or Supervisors from all across America requesting a change of venue, then maybe it'll have some leverage. I don't know if it'll work or not, but I think that it could be something that we could do. You know, I mean, we reach out individually or independently and write letters to the DOJ and write letters to their reps, but the strength of a letter is going to come out of a local county government. So I'll keep you all in tune on it.
Hey, Coy, definitely keep in touch with me over that. And if you come up with a draft or something, definitely send it to me, because I would like to have a friend of mine look at it. I have a very, very close friend who actually worked for years. She's a what do they call? Juris doctor. She's an attorney that never really worked as an attorney, but she's worked very closely in a lot of different government agencies, and I would like to get her input on it, because she's very good at crafting language. So definitely, I think that's a workable idea, brother.
You know, Sean, if you I mean, I haven't even started on it yet, you know, and it's kind of out of my wheelhouse, to be honest with you. I would have to...
It's my wheelhouse.
Sir?
It's in my wheelhouse.
Well, I tell you what, John,
yeah.
You know, if you could draft something like that, and like I say, there's been studies done on the DC jury pool, so, and the biasness of it, and if we could, you know, include not in the letter maybe, but just include with the draft the fact of the matter is, and of the biasness of it. And if you can do that, John, and if you can send it to me, then I'll push it through our county commission board. I know I can.
Yeah, well, here's...
No, definitely. I think what we can do is we can add exhibits, and I know Trennis Evans has a lot of that information. You know, I think the main thing from what I've learned, you know, with some of the things I've worked on, is to just really bang it into one page. So you've got to make it impactful. You've got to make it, you know, speak to whoever you're speaking to. So I think we can take a lot of information and distill it down and come up with something that's actually quite powerful.
Yeah, I'll say that also it's going to be impossible to get that letter signed by any blue counties, in which case the only county official organization that you're going to get a drafted and signed document or endorsement from will be from that local county Republican Party. And I speak from that firsthand because that's my county. So I'm in a blue governed county commissioners that I wouldn't be able to stand a chance on getting any headway with that letter, but as vice chair of my local county Republican Party, I can pass a motion and put forth that letter and get that, that document signed. We just endorsed Harmeet Dillon from a county's point of view, which is unheard of in our county to take action like that. So I will work on that, Coy. There's also some different dynamics in dealing with a county commissioner's office versus a county Republican Party organization, because it's not elected officials. We just represent those the constituents in that county that are Republican. So I will reach out to those more experienced politicians that I know on how to best handle the county commissioner office too. So I'll have that done. I've already passed a couple motions, written a bunch of stuff, and I'm causing all kinds of havoc within the established Republicans in my county, going, well, we've never done that before. And I'm like, well, we're doing it now. So it's been kind of fun.
I hear you, John, and if you can get a letter drafted, but you take New Mexico, okay, as far as the county, on the county side, whenever we had the Second Amendment sanctuary county resolutions passed to protect our Second Amendment, we had 29 of 33 counties in the state of New Mexico pass that resolution. So, don't discount the counties. If you look at the red-blue makeup of the counties across America, the United States is red from one coast to the other. It's just little tiny blue dots here and there. So I think county, sure, we can do it through Republican Party chairs, but I think that it will be more bang for the buck if we do it through on the county level. And I think that we can get it done. I think that many counties would pass that, and I think that it would be better leveraged through the county.
Well, I have no doubt it would be, but I'm one of those blue dot counties, so I just know for a fact we wouldn't be able to get our Democrat elected county commissioners to sign off on any J6 memorandum. I know that. Second Amendment, by the way, we have had bipartisan efforts to defeat some Second Amendment legislation that has rolled into our county. Like, we just recently had one that was they were going to ban gun shows in our county. And everybody showed up, bipartisan, Democrats too, because funny thing is, there are some Democrats, actually many, who like to own guns as well. So they didn't realize when they were drafting that legislation with kind of a federal narrative in mind, oh yes, we're going to roll towards this gun ban law. And they were just hammered by everybody. So that got shut down. So, but that doesn't mean, and I do agree, it would be most effective from a county commissioner's office than a local Republican Party, because at the county level, a lot of upper level politicians think that that county level is not worth their time. So what we're doing is we're bringing forth the grassroots people and people like me to stand up and say, we're here to say we are worth your time and pay attention to us. And it's happening all across America right now.
Sure. But when this letter's drafted, John, I don't think that it would be productive to draft the letter in such a way to support the January 6th defendants. It would be better to draft the letter in a way that's to protect the rights of Americans to be judged by a jury of their peers. And that needs to be the focus of the letter, is that right now we're not being judged by a jury of our peers, because a peer is somebody that's of the like mind, of the same stature, and a peer is found in the area where you reside. That's where these trials should be taking place. They should be taking place in the defendant's hometown. And that needs to be the push that we have, is to demand a change of venue and trials to take place in wherever the defendant resides from, because that's where a jury of their peers is going to be. So I think that this is a nonpartisan issue. It's just a constitutional right issue. And the letter needs to be drafted that way again, that it's not like a pro J6 and, it doesn't need to be, that doesn't need to be factored into it. It just needs to be factored in that we need to have a right to be judged by a jury of our peers. And in Washington, D.C., it's a very biased jury pool that they're pulling these jurors from. That's why we're losing every trial that we go before. So if we could get a letter like that drafted, that we want to change a venue because of the biasness of the D.C. jury. Commission boards, I think it could be a success, and I think that the DOJ would have to acknowledge the request of the local county government.
No, absolutely. I think that comes down a lot to the way the language is put. You've got to basically get them to understand the issue without making it about January 6th, because that lets you kind of bypass the politicization of the entire process, which is really the problem in general. And it was interesting, I was on a space last night where they were discussing this idea, obviously because of what happened with Vigo. And, really what I gleaned from that, it was like the comparison was brought up of, would you try Hillary Clinton in West Texas? Is that fair? And I was kind of sitting there kind of in agreement saying, no, that absolutely wouldn't be fair. And that's part of the problem with change of venue is they're talking about, okay, we'll take it to Virginia or we'll take it here. And I think that there could be arguments that you won't get a fair trial there either. I think it would be great if people were being tried in their hometown. I know that might have gone one of a few different ways for me. But I think that would get more back to the spirit of what the Constitution intended. And so I think it's a great idea. I think that's something to really hammer in on. And just to give everybody an update, some of the things I'm working on with Ryan Samsel, I will be having a conversation with his wife this weekend, I believe. I'm going to get that set up so that we can get a better idea of what's going on with him. So that's one thing that I was working on while I was sitting here listening. And then just so everybody knows, I think I do have everything worked out on my end, which is, praise God, that I'm going to have, some W-2 employment, which will put me well on my way because I have every intention on, being in D.C. Indefinitely in about 60 days. So hopefully I can get my, little stint in jail wrapped up. And, I'm going to be going to D.C., hitting the pavement and doing what I do best. So just everybody, I appreciate you all your support and everything. But Jenny's got her hand up, so I'll give it over to her.
Hey, Patriots. Coy and John, specifically to you about this letter to the local county commissioners. My lawyer, Marina Medvin, was the first one to file the motion to transfer back in February of 21. And I'm happy to send that over to you. She's got all the research in it and all of the legalese as to how it needs to be worded. And then, of course, y'all direct it to your audience. But yes, so several people have copied that for their motions to transfer, and I think it's a great idea to not just get counties involved in this, but also get sheriff's departments. I mean, the sheriffs actually have more power than counties or cities or, heck, the feds, honestly. And unfortunately, most sheriffs don't actually know how much power it is that they have. But Coy, I've got your information, and John, I can get yours, and I'd be happy to share her motion with y'all.
Hey, yeah, I started following.
It's good to hear your voice. And on the work that your attorney did, Jenny, does it have the data that from the DC jury pool? Yes,
it does. She's got all of the demographic, political bias, all of that information, and she didn't just argue the fact that 96 to 98% were Biden voters, but also how much DC potential jurors, how much their daily lives were disrupted as a result of January 6th with the fencing up around the Capitol and, the fact that the city streets were shut down for several days and that they're constantly inundated with all of the negative media publicity on and on. And so she has several different points to go along with the demographic data.
Awesome. And that's, you mentioned the sheriff, Jenny, and I agree with you 100%. But see, that's something that we could do on we could get the commission board or the boards of supervisors or whatever in the county to move and pass on it. And we can also get the sheriff to sign off on it too and put a letter in there too. And John, you mentioned the Republican parties we could get this letter draft the way we want it to look, with Jenny and all the work that they've already done. I agree with Sean. It needs to be sweet and to the point, one page, and with the data that's in it. And then, John, maybe we can send it off to each county chair, of Republican Party chair, across the whole United States and get, I mean, we could do this digitally, you know, I mean, take a little work to get online and find the email address for every county chair across the United States. And then we could task that county chair with taking it to the county commission board and getting it moved and passed on and signed off with the sheriff. But I really do think that that's a very critical point, to get it officially sent from the county or the city or whatever, the county government, the county, we need to focus on county, the county government with the signature of the county sheriff, and we stack those letters up on the DOJ's desk in Washington, D.C., because honestly, y'all, I mean, I truly believe that's the only way that any of the J6 defendants right now are going to have any hope at all, is with the change of venue. And they should be going before a jury of their peers, and the only place where their peers live is in their hometown. So we just need to get laser focused on it carried out.
I just want to ask you guys a question. I know that a lot of the Jan 6ers filed change of venue, and I know that this campaign that you guys are working on, trying to pull together and get together, won't affect them, and I understand the importance of change of venue, but didn't most everybody file for change of venue and it was denied, and they can also use that? I mean, I truly believe that a lot of this is going to come down to appeals, and I don't know who wants to answer this question, but I thought everybody put in a motion of change of venue, or at least the majority of the Jan 6ers, and
I'd like to answer it, Elena, because, you know, the letters that were submitted, again, were submitted by the defendant or the defendant's attorney, which only carries so much weight. But that's why I say the importance is to come from the local county government. If the local county government, from wherever that defendant resides, will send a letter of request of a change of venue, I just feel like that's going to hold a lot more weight. And in regards to those that have already been through trial, if we can get this pushed through and we can get it recognized and we can get them to allow a change of venue, then that's going to give leverage on the appeal, you know, because if they say, yeah, we'll allow a change of venue, well, all those that were previously trapped in D.C. should be able to file an appeal and have a retrial in their own hometown. And maybe we can crack this nut. I don't know.
well, that's exactly what I was going to ask you, and you actually explained that in layman's terms, which is what I need, because I'm no lawyer. I am learning a lot. And yeah, now I see the significance and importance of what you were trying to do here, Coy. I think that is actually
so there's
a good idea.
Let me chime in. So the one thing we have to remember is, as opposed to change of venue, the majority of defendants pled guilty to a charge. So that's truly what the majority of J6ers did. To touch part of the end game of what we're talking about probably is some sort of legislation that removes Washington, D.C.'s ability to keep some sort of, and you fill in the blank as to what that type of crime is in D.C. That's the end game. From a county perspective, at least, I can only speak on the local county Republican Party and what would have to happen in order for me to, and I can take front and center, I can get the county chairs and everybody's email of anybody, anywhere in the country, and that's not hard. And it won't be hard, well, it won't be super hard, it'll take some effort to get the letter passed so that and we would have a resolution.
So John, you're overthinking things and you're complicated.
No, well, I'm just saying I can't write a letter.
Listen,
I can't write a letter on behalf of.
As a county commissioner, John, I know I'm speaking from experience. You wouldn't need all of that. All we need to, and Jenny, if you want to work directly with Sean and we want to work together on this, we can. It doesn't need to be complicated. All we need to do is have Jenny come up with the letter. And I don't mean to be short, John, and I don't mean to cut you off, but it's something
well, you did.
I introduced a minute ago. And I think that we need to keep it simple is always the best. And we get Jenny to come up to get the information that she has. We get a one-page letter. We get it sent to all the county chairs. John, I think that's a good idea. Send it to all the county chairs. Get them to get it passed through the county commission board for a change of venue. Now, those that have pled guilty, this could even be used as an appeal with them, because many of the reason why they pled guilty is because they knew they had no chance inside of the DC with the DC jury. So I don't know if an attorney could do something with that too. I mean, if maybe some of that could be rolled back, I don't know. But for sure, the ones that are still facing trial or that have been through trial, I think that this would be, it would be at least a shot. It would be just an.
Proposition I have heard so far, because once we get it out of the hands of J6ers and into the hands of local elected officials or even party members, party boards, then that all of a sudden turns into something much more powerful. So, like, I know for sure with the different groups that I've spoken to about January 6th and the political prisoners in my area, that I could get at least 5 or 6 different counties. They might be tiny counties, but that doesn't matter. You know, they're Republican parties to sign off on this type of letter. And then once you have that, then our state representative would have to acknowledge it. And then all of a sudden we've got federal people that would be helping out. So I think it's a fantastic option, because it's no longer just January 6th defendants saying, hey, listen to me, you know, when they view us all as guilty anyway.
Amen. And very quickly, again, it needs to be geared and focused to the fact that it's not even to necessarily to support January 6th or support January 6th defendants. It's just about the right that we should have a jury of our peers. And that needs to be the focus of this move forward, that we don't have a jury of our peers in Washington, D.C. The jury of our peers are found in our own hometown, in our own community. So, you know, it should be a nonpartisan issue. It should just be a constitutional right issue, and Democrats and Republicans with any sense that aren't just overly politicized should understand the concern and should support what we're trying to do.
And Tukoi, another thing that could possibly come as a result of this is, again, if there's several counties and several Republican groups that are willing to sign off on this letter, then that would also make a difference with the attorney generals of each state. And I know there's a group of people that have been trying to get a hold of attorney generals, because they could demand that all political prisoners that are Texans at least be transferred to Texas prisons while they're awaiting trial. And so, again, the more people that get involved that are not necessarily us, the better it is for all January 6th defendants.
Absolutely. No, I agree with all that. And, you know, just to put any of the arguments, look, anybody out there that's listening that wants to get involved, if you have a crazy idea and, you know, nobody wants to hear it, or you feel, I mean, just do it anyways, because we're all going to be working at different levels. If you think you've got the magic solution to the whole problem, then rock and roll, get after it, because this has got to be multi-level, all of these different things. You know, it's like, I'm going to be working on other things, and I'm going to sound like, you know, the FBI or Ray here, but, you know, I'm not going to disclose sources or methods. But yeah, I mean, it really comes back to Archimedes, right? You know, give me a lever long enough and a fulcrum on which to place it, and I shall move the world. Well, we're all building the lever right now, and we need to remember that the people are the fulcrum, and let's, you know, just keep moving. So that's the only encouragement. You know, I know John had his hands up. Totally rock and roll, and then we'll go to Misty.
So I just wanted to finish what I was trying to explain. For any letter, let me get my hand down. For any letter that lands on the chair of any local county Republican Party's desk, if it gets there at all, they can't just take it to the county commissioner's office. That there has to be a board meeting, and at that board meeting, a motion gets made to accept the letter, potentially redraft it, but to accept it and then take it to that next level, whether it's county or that sort of thing. So the process isn't, you can't just send it to the local Republican Party. You can send it, but then they have to take the action to pass a motion to then take it and adopt it, which means that then everybody's name goes up at the bottom of it, and then what they're going to do with it. So that was what I was trying to explain.
No, I don't know how it works where you're at, John, but we're out here in New Mexico where I'm at. If a citizen has a letter like this, like we're going to put together, all they have to do is call one of their commissioners up, and most people probably have a line on a local county commissioner. All they have to do is give them the letter and ask them if they'll put it on the agenda. And that it's as simple as that. And the county chair, the Republican county chair of each county, should know one of the county commissioners, and all we would have to do in our letterhead or to explain this is just request that that county chair take it to one of their county commissioners, get that county commissioner to put it on the agenda, discuss it, move it, pass it through the county commission board, and then the county will send it to the DOJ.
Sure, a citizen can send a letter to the county, but if that letter goes to the Republican Party, then the entire board would need to vote to send it to the county. So if you want it to come,
I understand you. Well, then,
yeah, if you want it to come, yeah, to come from a single citizen is different than coming from that Republican Party of that county.
Yes, sir. I understand. I understand what you're saying, and I'm sure you're 100% right on that. So, maybe instead of looking at the Republican Party, maybe we could just, and anybody out there that's listening that maybe, as Sean said, everybody can act on their own. You can take ideas and run with them because we're all working for the same greater good. But maybe it would be better to find a patriot group inside of each county. That would be probably a little bit more work to Google each county and Google Patriot in Colfax County or whatever. But all we need is one citizen from each county to call their county commissioner or email their county commissioner this letter and ask them to put it on the agenda, and then they roll with it from there.
100%. All of these things, they really come down, if you're looking for political solutions, it really comes down to leverage. And I think that these political solutions, that's the way I would view it, even because you're kind of bypassing the judiciary. And I've pretty much come to the conclusion, and that there's plenty of people that disagree with me, but I don't see a judicial solution to any of this. So I think it's got to be a political solution. And that, like I say, it just comes down to leverage. So some people have bigger leverage than others. People can work together to increase their leverage, but it's just leverage. Not to put too fine a point on it, but Coy knows is that with a lot of these county commissions and others, that we're certifying the election and not even going off, but they have a lot of leverage over them. So the American people, if we want to save this country, we need to increase our leverage. Misty, go for it.
Misty, can you hear me? Sorry, I was typing somebody a text message. She may have to drop out and come back upstairs.
Yes, no. I'm sorry. I was trying to do a download of the flyer I made, and what I'm trying to do, I have been sick, so I haven't been able to follow through, and it's a bad excuse, but I have a flyer. I've pinned it up. You guys can use it and take it to your mayor, your police department, your sheriff department, your county. I'm going to go to the libraries. I'm going to start and getting it where we ask them to create videos and sing the national anthem in support of the J6ers, to hold up the flyer, to get them to keep posting until they get home. And I'm going to say when I go in, I don't want to have to keep coming back in every day to ask if you've gotten your video out. So please truly take time to consider this. We have to take a stand. And I am getting some support in the thing, but I don't have anything directing it to a site. So maybe if you guys want to add, my name is not on it. I'm not about me. And part of it is I can't sing, and I don't want to scare people with a horrible rendition of the anthem. But if we can add maybe, or if you guys want to give me a site, I do have the hashtag Sing for Freedom on there that we can direct all the videos to. I would gladly add it and reprint more flyers or add it to the couple hundred that I have already. So if you guys, it's just something that you could just print and do and go and hold up that part in support of the J6ers. And we could tell people, you can sing it in your backyard. You can, go out at 6 p.m. every night and sing, and you can post it. And it's just a thought, and I'm trying to get the catch on, and it's not as poignant as the letters and stuff, but it could make a huge difference, and it's one way that we can show unity and mass gatherings and true patriotism, and show the numbers by doing it and making it bigger than those ice challenges and those silly challenges that everybody was doing. And you can get your kids' voices on there, and and we could really make something like that kind of stick. And we could also do every 6th day, every February, March, April, May, June, July 6th, where we get together and we join together as one voice and do more videos and more things, and we can plan it where we get the communities to come out together and do it on those days. So it's just thoughts. Would love some DMs or anything. I already have it. I already have the lyrics of the national anthem to be put on the other side in a PDF. I was trying to download it. That's what I was trying to do. It's hard to do that on Twitter, but it's just a simple, basic thing, and I just want to help. So, and Coy, I just wanted you to know I did contact and sent messages to Kyle, the FBI whistleblower, asking him to come help you in your court case to be a testifier, that he could testify for you. I also sent it to Chris Rose so he could get the message to him, because I'm not a person, and he said he would personally talk to him about trying to get him and maybe the other whistleblower to come help you in your case. I hope you've heard from them. I would try to contact them. I have their DMs if you need their names. But that's something else we could do. We can start sending names and cases to FBI whistleblowers. Anybody who is in the local poll, start getting the J6er cases and appeals and stuff to them and say, hey, this is what is really going on, and you need to, can you come help me? This is, it's over 2, I'm still flabbergasted. It's over 2 years. It's ridiculous how long this is going on and how insanely cruel and vicious and vile and grotesque that nobody is up screaming. And we all know how ugly I scream, so because I've gotten a little loud on some spaces, so I don't know if I'm the best screamer, but I just, I'm just trying to help, and I would love some DMs or, whatever I can do. just, we've got to be louder. Thank you, everyone. God bless you, J6ers, and my prayers go to you. And I only want your freedom and your pardons. Thank you.
Oh, that's so sweet, and I'm so sorry that you're not feeling well. Those are all such great suggestions. I love the singing of the national anthem, and that's why I try to tune in every single night to the DC prayer vigil as often as I can, especially before, and to join them at 9 o'clock when the guys from the jail call Mama Mickey to sing the national anthem. It's so important. It's just so important to do that. And I'm just so proud of all of them for being out there for so long, standing.
I just don't think enough people know about it to tune in at that time. And that's, if we want to add that to the flyer, you guys, I have the Sing for Freedom, but even they don't really have a statement about that time, and I'm having a hard time finding it. I don't want to plagiarize somebody or misuse their words, but that would be something we could add to it. And so, it's just, and I did talk to the head guy, but then, and he came into my space, but he didn't really send me info to add to the flyer. So I did what I could with, so I don't know, but I'm just trying to say we need to figure out going to local places and getting the word out so everybody is aware in our counties, and we need to make sure we have representatives of each state trying to get this out throughout the states and counties.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, and I can get you connected with his Telegram name, and his social media name is Pi Annan, but it's Joe. He's the one that started that Sing for Freedom campaign. I can give him a call and see if I can't get you connected with him. Those are really great ideas. And you're right, a lot of people don't even know that they're having a prayer vigil every night at the DC jail, and they don't know that Mama Mickey and Nicole and Randy have been out there since August 1st, rain, snow, sleet, hail, wedding, baptism, funeral. Somebody is out there every single night, and I think it's super important to get this message out. So I'll be more than happy to help you with that, Misty. I absolutely will. We've got about 20 more minutes, and then we're going to hop over to Mika's new space tonight that she is kind of taken another task on and to help us out to carry on this message kind of for an evening cruise. So Coy, I'm going to go ahead and go to you, and anybody else, please raise your hand up if you want to ask any final questions. And then if anybody wants to step up and say the prayer, that would be amazing. I would appreciate it.
Hey, yeah, I've got to go too. I was just on my way out, but I just really feel like moving forward, our focus really needs to be the change of venue. We really need to start being vocal about that anytime we speak or have any opportunities to speak. We need to continue to point to the biasness of the DC jury pool. I still believe that a letter coming from the county government with the sheriff's blessing signature on the letter to the DOJ, pointing to the fact that Americans are not getting a jury of their peers, but a biased jury in Washington D.C. And I just want to commend everybody that's been working on the videos to continue to do that, and we thank you for it, because the digital footprint of that day is a footprint that they're trying to cover up, but the digital footprint will tell the story of the bad actors of that day, and what the real motives, and expose what really happened on January 6th, because that's all any of us want, is just transparency from that day and for the truth to be told. But I appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you so much, Coy. I always am very grateful when you come into these spaces and have these conversations. That's what we need to do. We need to make a plan, we need to organize, and we need to execute. And it's super important for us to all get together and have these conversations. So I always appreciate you, Coy. Thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, thanks, Coy. God bless you, man.
Yeah, God bless you, Coy. Thank you.
God bless you, General. We'll see you soon, buddy.
Yeah, I'll be back, man. I'll be back. I'll be back and kicking. I'll get out from underneath this under the weather rock pretty quick.
I do share the link every night, either from Freedom Express, David live streaming, or Stormtrooper from the DC Gulag. I always post it on Telegram. I put it on my Twitter. Randy also shares it on A for Justice, so you can find it there as well. I think it's important to share those visuals out so people can start finding out that their people are standing at the jail every single night. So it's super important for us to continue to share information, friend everybody who joins these Twitter spaces. Definitely follow, Sean and General and Nika. They're all putting out super important information. I see Jaleese in here. She's probably multitasking. That's why she hasn't stepped up to speak with American Patriot Relief. She's working really hard to get this distress hotline up and running, and we do have a lot of good things that are happening. So for that, I am very, very grateful, and I am also grateful for you guys being here. Sean, do you want to say anything else? I know that, yeah, I see you laughing at me, Jaleese. Do you want to say something, hon?
Oh, I've always got something to say.
I know.
I think yeah, I know, right? But actually, most of the time I like to listen. I guess we got about 20 minutes here. I didn't know everybody who's in this space, but one thing that I think we could do with this, the more when we share it out, and this is just kind of a general, call to anybody who is listening. If you've got any questions or anything else that we can help you with, if you feel like this would be a good place for people to come to get information about what happened that day, I think we're all open to doing that, because in the end, really everything that we do is really built around, trying to find the truth. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm not going to, we may even get into disagreements sometimes, with the people who've been regular here, but, I'm not trying to make excuses for any of the, the bad things that happened that day. There were plenty of them. But, I do want everyone to have due process in this country. This is, that's what this is really about. And I want the American people to really understand what happened that day, because they don't. And this is what I've found, when we get too bogged down in the partisan stuff, is that it's like, I think we miss opportunities. We need to be communicating with the people who don't agree with us. And so we don't want to live in an echo chamber. We want to have an exchange of ideas and information and really come to solutions based on facts. I think that a lot of people don't have a good opinion of January 6th because they simply have no idea what the facts are. They've watched CNN.
Oh my God!
Media outlet they subscribe to.
This guy is so stupid.
In their head as to what happened. As anybody here who lived that day or knows well the people that did live that day. It was a very big building, a lot of different things going on, a lot of different individuals. And so we need to do our best to tell those individual stories, to try to find justice in each individual case. And I think that that's really the path to move forward in all of this. And it's like Coy was saying, we just got to keep moving forward. All ideas have value, even if it's only to you. And if you can't get anybody on board with your idea, we'll keep fighting. That's really what it is. And go ahead, General.
Yeah, I was just going to say, man, to touch on what you said, the truth will set us free. The truth will set everyone free. There's never been a more accurate statement than that. And I'm looking forward to seeing the truth set everyone free. And it's going to happen. So we're in a fight. We're in a battle right now. We're dealing with, depressing events, and we're just going through this hell, all together. And when we make it out the other side of this, I think we're going to find that we have a really, really close knit family that the enemy didn't want to happen. Okay, so let's embrace this moment and this pain, and let's take it all in. and let's deal with it together. And as we continue on, I know that we're going to get closer. I mean, I love the hell out of Nika. She just came along a couple weeks ago, and she's amazing. I mean, just didn't even know who she was, and now she's, involved in so much stuff, so many good things, and I'm proud of her. And I'm going to jump on her space here for the evening shift. Here in about 15 minutes, and I urge everybody to follow her and jump in on that. Logan's another good guy, and Tank too. Good folks, man, that are going to be doing this. So I'm going to be supporting them 100% for the evening shift. It's going to make it a little easier on us. We're going to be dropping down to about 3 hours every day, and they're going to be taking on about 2 to 3, depending on what they're able to do. And I urge everybody to really support them, and when they kick their space up tonight, support them and back them up 100%. They're going to be following through with what we've gone over during the morning or afternoon shift, and it's going to be a continuation. And so I put that link down in the bubble down there in the nest, and click on that when we leave out of here if you can, and show some support for them, and let's get them going for the evening shift. I know they're going to do a great job, and got some good folks that are going to be doing that. So definitely get over there and do that. But by far, let me explain this. When we come out the winner in this, we win in the end. We already won. Okay, we have victory. It's already, the victory is already done. We just have to let the truth stand on its own, and it does every single time. And it will set these people free. It will set our brothers and sisters free from this bondage. And this is the oldest trick of the devil in the book, is to act like these people are, make it look like the people are damned, and they're not. We're never damned, And my heart goes out to Ryan Samsel. Like you were saying, Sean, it's not, everybody didn't do everything correctly that day. I'm not saying that everybody did 100% correct or acted, correctly, or, the way I would have. But at the same time, these people are human beings. They're our American brothers and sisters. You serve this country proudly. That has to count for something. And to these people, it doesn't. Nothing matters to these people. Only their hate.
No.
Is flailing and failing. It's one of those things where, everything's coming to a head. This government is failing. It's completely destroying itself. It's, when the faith of the people is gone, what do you have left? You have people, that are looking at these people that led us in the wrong direction, didn't protect us, failed to make sure that our, we were taken care of and that we were protected, and didn't attack the people. So one of these days, these stories and this history of this, this day on January 6th will be corrected, and we'll be the victors in the end, and we'll be strong, and we'll be even more cohesive in the end. So that's my 2 cents for the day, and I'm going to get better here within the next day or two. So I'll be back to my fiery self again, and back in here, y'all. Sorry that I was kind of a dud today.
You are never a dud. We're just praying for you that you get yourself all better, because I need you in this fight with me. I can't do this alone. I'm just telling you. I'll come to Texas and I'll get you.
You're never alone, Lena. Never alone.
I know, honey. I know. Thanks to you and so many other people. I tell you, I've called General so many nights, and I've cried, and I've yelled, and I've screamed at him, and he has been there every step of the way for me, and I just love you, and I appreciate you so much.
Helena, if you don't mind, I'm just going to jump in real quick. I'm going to step out of here so I can start the other space, just in case there's people that weren't in this one that are looking to get on the other one. Please, everybody, if you have time, jump over. If you want to have dinner, we're going to be on for a couple hours at least. I'm going to stay on. If there's a lot of people on there, I'll be there 3 hours. We'll see how it goes, and we'll take it from there.
I'm coming over there with you, honey, in just 11 minutes. I'll see you on the other one. Talk to you soon. Tank, you had your hand up. You want to go ahead and say something, sweetie?
Thanks, Alina. Great to see you all. Thank you all for everything you do for the J6ers. General, you mentioned one point at the end, and I hope you feel better, bud, about cohesion. And that's something they were able to take away from us January 6th. Really put us on our back foot, scattered, and, you know, really take away people's drive and passion to come together because people were scared something like this might happen. And I have a bombshell story for you all. If you haven't seen it, it's pinned to my profile. This is footage that should be seen by everybody in the world. Shows the false flag entrapment operation. I walk everybody through the machinations play by play. And, you know, it's really plain for everyone to see. Video speaks for itself. Follows the story of 383, as we know. This individual who attacks police with an American flag. 3 separate engagements with police, 2 of which I captured on camera. All were designed to draw folks nearby into the entanglements. And, you know, but for the actions of these suspicious actors, I do not think that folks would have been able to get into the Capitol. And there were crowd behavior techniques employed by provocateurs. You'll see this in the video. Chants were started at very critical moments, you know, to rile up the crowd. And I think this is something that defense attorneys need to look at, folks who are interested in appeal. And I hope my footage can help everybody. And I really think we need to get to the bottom of this. We need our own J6 committee. It's appalling to hear what they've done to the J6ers. Real modern day political prisoners. You wouldn't even think you'd hear about something in America like this. This is like tantamount to torture, really, what they've done. And I just can't thank you all enough for being here and standing up for everybody. And I love you all. And I'm probably gonna drop down soon and head to the space at 6 o'clock with Nick and everybody else. So I hope to see you all over there. But thank you again, General, and everybody take care.
We love you too, Tank Man. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in a couple minutes. Logan, go ahead, hi.
Yes, ma'am. First of all, I want to thank y'all. And Helena, you're a gem on the Telegram. Everything that I've watched and been informed on has been on your behalf. I hope you get some rest soon because I know how much this means to you. But, you know, we can't, like you said, job ain't done. But I wanted to touch base with Landmark to see if she got, I sent her the information that she needed to get in touch with her representative and all that. And I sent you number, Landmark, and email, which I'd assume call because the email would probably just go like spam. But blow it up. And I appreciate y'all. And General, you know, I love y'all, brother. And I'll see you on the other side, Tank. I'm going to go ahead over there with Nick now. And just keep on calling. Blow it up, blow it up, blow it up. Don't stop.
Absolutely, yeah, and if we can get the letter written for or put down in the nest too one more time to contact for Ryan Samsel to advocate for him, and if everybody can shoot, you know, a phone call, two or 3 phone calls and out there, and you know, just go by the script, and that'd be good. Obviously, they're going to continue to try to let this man die, so we can't let that happen.
Do you want us to change the title to go from the state level instead of calling representatives, or you just want it to go however they want to do it? Because Coy was cool with me. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, I don't know what's going to be more effective, man. I mean, really right now, we're just trying to let these folks know, the judge, the clerk, you know, the marshals, the prison, just trying to really let them know that we're paying attention. You know, that's the biggest part of it, is just giving them, you know, the the notion that, hey, you know, we are watching, you know. Yeah, and there's a bunch of us. So the more people that do it, the more effective it'll be, and the more likely that the correction will be made. But yeah, I was listening to Coy. Coy's, you know, he's got some good points on that, man. So
yeah, we have to develop and move into that for sure too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Is Tyler going to lead us in prayer?
Yeah, go ahead, Tyler. Would you like to?
Yeah, I asked him to do so. Jaleese has got her hand up though, so maybe just go ahead, Jaleese.
I'll just keep it super quick. I wanted to thank you guys for hanging in there and hosting this space every single day. Good Lord, it wears me out just hearing y'all talk. I don't know how y'all do it. But anyway, I'm proud of y'all and I wanted you to know that. I will be posting on American Patriot Relief the connection on call to action for Sansel, for Ryan, and I just want to let you guys know that I am here. I'm working. I was multitasking, so that was pretty fun. And I will see y'all on the next space. Have a blessed day.
I knew it. That's because you are one busy lady. You are always moving and shaking, and I am so inspired by you. And I appreciate everything that you're doing, and I just love you so much. And I'll hop over there in just a few minutes. Chadic, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name. Chadical?
I think it's
Chadical. You've got like 1 minute because we're getting ready to close out in prayer, and we're going to the next space. But if you'd like to say something, go ahead.
Yeah, y'all are talking about Nick. You go into this Nick space. Is that Nick Fuentes or whose space are y'all talking about?
No. There's going to be another space set up, and no, not Nick Fuentes.
Oh, well, y'all should vote Kanye for president 2024. He's the only person that's outside of the Jewish duopoly that we have. Yeah, he's the only person calling out the problem.
Hey, Chadical, look in the nest right down there, the little message bubble. There's a post that I put down there. That's going to be the evening shift of this version of assisting the J6ers, if you'd like to join.
Okay, guys, I just want to thank everybody for being here. Please go into the bubble chat and share all of those tweets out. It's really important. I know I didn't put up any fundraisers today. I'll do that over in Nico's space tonight. I'm just kind of going to because she really has stepped up to the plate and she's taken on a lot in the last 2 weeks raised by her, and she inspires me too. So please join over there. And Tyler is going to close us out with a prayer. Sean, if you want to say anything else, I just want to tell all of you guys, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you on the other one.
Just same thing. Just thanks everybody for showing up every day. I love all the ideas. I love the energy. Let's continue to build this energy and make a bigger lever.
Tyler, you want to go ahead and close us out?
Sure. Thank you, Helena. This is an honor. I want to share something just real quick, briefly. If you're engaged in a church, I would challenge your pastor to get his head out of the sand. I don't think the biggest issue anymore is the southern border. I actually believe now that it is this whole January 6th and the injustice going on.
Bro, it's the Jewish infiltration of American politics that allows this January 6th oppression of political dissidents. It's not just the January 6th.
Well,
go ahead, Tyler.
Anyways, my point is, I would encourage all of you to challenge your spiritual leader, your pastors, to begin to speak out in the pulpit, speak out in all of his social media, and get involved.
Don't bring these idiots to the light. It's fine.
Father, in the name of Jesus, I just thank you for everybody that's here. I pray strength into their souls, into their minds. And I pray and I ask, Father, that you would bring financial help. You are our helper. You're El Shaddai. You're the God of more than enough. So help all of us that need financial help. And Lord, strengthen us. Strengthen us in this fight. It's not a physical battle, though it feels like it, because we're going through physical things. But it is a spiritual battle, and I thank you that you've given us the blood of Jesus. You've given us a name that's above every name, and we can wield that name with confidence. So we just speak the name of Jesus over this nation. Let his name be lifted up in our nation, in our government, federally, state, and locally. And then God, increase our greatness, each person individually, increase their greatness, their influence, so that they can have a greater impact in this nation, in their homes, in their communities, at the state and federal level. And I pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen, brother.
All right.
Thank you. That was amazing. That was amazing.
God,
I love
God
you
bless
guys
all of
so
you.
much. Yep, love you too, General. See you on the other one. I'm hopping over.
Yeah, me too. God bless everybody, and may He keep all of you safe. We'll see you over there.
Is it over? Hello, my friends. That is the end of this episode, and what a wild episode it was. Thank you so much for listening, and stay tuned, my friends.